So to go back over that real fast, chest 1, pelvis 2, legs 3, arms 4, head 5. Ultimately, the head goes last because then you can do what I'm doing on the screen. See how on the screen right now, I'm reshaping the size of that head constantly. And I'm also thinking about the balance of the character. Now, this one's a little bit different because the character is floating on this wall. So the balance can be definitely much more pushed out. So you have some flexibility. The one thing that I would do if you were trying to... Hold on. I know this is quite the deviation from what we were doing, but I think the one thing that I would really think about is grab a sketchbook. I never left. Hello. Hi, Yo-Yo. Is grab a sketchbook and try to do tiny, 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 tiny little poses. Go to Pinterest, find a bunch of poses, break them down into those core shapes. Pose, 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 pose. You do a couple thousand of these, you'll never have a problem. And then I always suggest you do a sort of normal version, and then you do an exaggerated version of every one of your characters. Same thing right here. It's hard to see, but here's a normal version and an exaggerated version. Here's me doing the same pose 3 times just to try to see if I can find something. Does that help? Lots of walking guy, standing guy poses. But it's just over and over and over again. And then that way you just get really comfortable with everything. Takes time. Takes time. CC, hello from the past. This is our friend Lurk and Dirk. Hi, JB. I think you're going to see less of that back arm too. I think so too. I'd have to kind of think about it. My guess is that the mass of the shoulder is obscuring things further, but I need to sort of think through it a little bit. This character does have, I agree, I don't disagree. You just have to, and I think what Dirk is doing there is you have to be consistent with the hands, and because you have an ASL-minded character, making the hands much bigger is a great idea. Gotta hop. Sounds good, Em. Take care. Dirk, you rock. I'm in the wrong thing. Here is Spider Ferratu. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying the stream today. I'm open to any and all of your feedback. Spider Ferratu, who's streaming tomorrow night over on the Twitches. I wanted to try to mimic the Spider-Verse movies, but really push the length for more ghoulish proportions. Went through different sketches, more bulky, too young, realized to broaden the shoulders. Yep. Elongate the body. Lots of focus on triangles. Fuck yeah, dude. Guys, you've got to read Yes Ferratu's post here, because I think the thinking in real time is really rad. Into the Ferratu verse. Into the Ferratu verse. Let's look at the other one. Yep. Ah. I'm curious. I want to see. Yes, Ferratu's a genius, in my opinion. I want to see the early version of this when take the hips down a little further. You could. I'd love to see the earliest version of this Yes Ferratu and sort of how far you came. I love how broad the shoulders are. It's very hyper clear. The emphasis on the triangles especially fits the vibe, the vampire vibe that you go through, because not only do we get the vibe of the sort of the triangle shape that you're selling right here, but that's a repetitive shape in the teeth too. You're also getting the same thing with your underpants. It's just genius. It's just genius. And again, I think once everyone else starts to see how these repetitive shapes over and over again just work, it's just like you have to use them. You just have to use them. I love just how fucking degen. Do you have tidy whities? Yeah, the socks. The little things right there. The one note that I would suggest is just for silhouette for a single character design, Yes Ferratu, is just bumping that hand off of the form of the leg. We all know what it is, but just so it breathes so we can see around it. But that's a tiny, tiny, tiny thing. There's a guy whose work that I think you might like, Justin Peterson. Have you ever seen Justin Peterson's work? Justin Peterson did a comic called Very Nearly Mint, which is a comic about running a comic book store. He also did a bunch of mural work for a Mexican restaurant. Super rad dude, rad illustrator. This kind of texture work feels a lot like him in the best possible way. But again, man, I don't know. I'm so enthusiastic about you, your work, your vibe. I love the D-Gen underpant version. It's just so good. It's so good. I love to, and again, I think I really want to highlight your post, because I think this is a really great way for people to think through sort of the overall process and how you whittled everything down. I think is a really, I think it's going to help a shitload of people, dude. I really do. I really do. You rock, man. You rock.